Hey guys, welcome to my channel, JM Outdoors. I'm actually getting ready to run some errands. I'm sitting in the truck, but I was thinking and decided to make a quick video. I recently purchased a new rifle, and I've got positive and negative feedback. So I wanted to explain why I decided on what I did. I bought a Savage. It's a 110 Engage. It came with a Bushnell Engage scope on it, which if you buy any rifle that's already got a scope mounted on it, take it off. Even if you like the scope, take it off. Make sure all your bolts are tight. Sometimes at the factory they just kind of snug them up and let it go. So, make sure everything's good and tight. The caliber I chose was 308 Winchester. And it's funny because the old guys are like, oh, yeah, that's a workhorse. That's a great caliber. You're going to love it. And the younger guys are, you should have got this. You should have got that. You know, a lot of 6.5 Creedmoor, this and that. And I watch a lot of videos. I've seen a lot of gel tests, which, kind of blow my mind. If you think about it, a gel test pretty much represents a gut shot, because you're leaving out the bone factor. If you hit a rib, it's going to significantly impact how your bullet performs. But the reasoning behind this is I'm in West Virginia. I hunt deep woods, thick bedding areas, ridges, you know, crossing points on ridges specifically. You find a low gap, and that's where the deer are more likely going to cross. But in my 50 odd years of hunting, it's rare to take a shot over 100 yards. I bought bullets. They're the Hornady Whitetail 165 grain soft points. The box says when I sight in, if I'm 2 inches high at 100 yards, I'm dead on at 200 yards, which would give me a point blank range of maybe 250 yards or so, 230, which, like I said, is rare. It's very, very rare to shoot that far in the areas that I hunt. So I decided I wanted to throw a bigger, heavier bullet. Probably the last 10 years, I've hunted with a little Remington 700 compact model 243. Killed a bunch of deer with it. It's a wonderful little rifle. But, you can never have too many guns, and I just decided I wanted something bigger. West Virginia is seeing a big increase in bear population. They're really spreading out, and you're seeing bears and bear sign in areas that 15 years ago you would have never dreamed of seeing a bear. The deer are really spread out. I mean, there's deer everywhere. I can sit on the west side of Charleston at the drive-through at Wendy's and look up on the hill and see deer feeding in people's yards. But everybody wants to quote all these ballistics and trajectories and stuff like that. And the way I hunt, it doesn't really matter. I'm not going to be taking a 400-yard shot. I mean, 300 yards, I would be comfortable taking a shot with the 308. Just hold a hair high and pop it off. But it's I don't need flat, fast. Plus, like I said, the 243 is basically a 6 millimeter. So I would be stepping up 0.5 millimeters and maybe, I think, 43 grains in weight, where I'm going from a 6 millimeter to a 7.62 and stepping up 65 grains in weight, and a much bigger frontal area on the bullet. So it's hopefully going to perform like I expect it to. And for those of you who don't know, your point blank range is how far you can just hold dead on the deer and still make a hit. You know, you don't have to try and adjust aiming high or anything like that. You can just hold dead on, and you're within 6 inches. I think that's what they say the kill zone on a deer is 6 inches. When elk is like 8 inches, I believe. I don't know. I just know it's just a matter of inches. You know, if you hold dead center on a deer 3 inches low, you're still going to get a good hit. You know, 3 inches high, you're still going to get a good hit if it's a big deer. But I don't jump on the bandwagon. I don't go for all these gizmos and, you know, smoke and mirrors and all this kind of stuff. I've seen too many cartridges come and go that actually should have been dandy cartridges, but they just never really caught on. Where the 308, you know, it's an old dependable cartridge. It's like they said, it's a workhorse. You know, the old guys, they know, you know, it will perform. I'm not saying the 6.5 Creedmoor won't. I've never shot one, probably never will. I don't see the significant advantage of that over the 243 like I do the 308 in these situations I hunt in. You know, that's around here. Long shots would be, excuse me, like sitting over a big hay field. Maybe, I mean, if you got the property to put in a huge food plot or a power line right away, you know, that's where you're going to get your long shots. And I hardly ever hunt those areas. I'm more in the woods. You know, like I said, hunting. I have shot deer. I shot one at probably right at 300 yards, maybe a hair farther. It was a big bowl hollow where my brother-in-law used to live, and we were on one side and spotted some does on the other side, and it was a pretty far poke. But I had a 25-06 and I dropped a doe in her tracks. So, but you know, I don't hunt big open areas. The farm that we were going to buy last year, my son was going to buy. The deal fell through. I did shoot a 3-point opening morning last year, and before you start hating on me, he was standing in a hayfield at first light, and I could not see antlers. I swear I thought it was a doe, and I told my son a couple times it's a doe. But you know, once I dropped it, I realized it was a little scrawny 3-point, and you know, it didn't go to waste. It ate good. But think about the 3 things before you buy a rifle. You know, what you're going to hunt, where you're going to hunt, how you're going to hunt. Of course, you know, like I said, we're talking deer rifles, so we know what we're going to hunt. Where, you know, if you're hunting wide open areas, you know, where you could possibly take a really long shot, I could see maybe the 6.5 Creedmoor if I didn't already have a 243. But I would probably still go with more like the 25-06, the 270. Might even consider one of the short magnums, you know, if it's going to be a pretty long shot, because you know, you need to carry energy out there. But I don't hunt those type areas. In all the years I've hunted, I've had maybe 3 shots that were over 100 yards. I still hunt the way I've always done it. You know, everybody's got their spot and want to get out there before daylight and all this kind of stuff. I hunted a buddy's farm in Putnam County for 30-something years, and I had my tree. I don't do tree stands. I just don't do them. But I would pull up and park my truck at the end of the 4-wheeler trail, wait till it started getting light enough to see what I was doing, and then I would slowly still hunt my way out to my tree. I've killed a lot of deer on the way out to my tree. You just never know. But I decided I want to throw a bigger, heavier bullet. You know, I've always wanted a 308, so I just kind of talked myself into it. But don't jump on the bandwagon necessarily because everybody else is. Think about what you're doing, what you want, what kind of performance you expect. I'm happy with the 308. I've never killed a deer with the 308. I've killed deer with a lot of different calibers. From a 30-30, I killed my first deer with a 30-30. Killed them with 7 mags, 270, 25-06, 243. Killed a lot of deer. So hopefully the 308 will meet my expectations. Hopefully it'll like those 165 grain bullets. I may eventually decide to step up to the 180 grains, which is a definite advantage over the 143 or whatever it is for the 6.5 Creedmoor. If it were a longer range situation, then I could see it, but it's not. So the 243, the 100 grain bullets, it's just pinpoint accurate. I've never had a deer I shot with it go more than maybe 40 yards at the most. They don't go far. Little bullets get in there and just explode. I shot a doe one year. She was probably at about 30 yards, and she was coming right at me. And as I threw my rifle up, she screeched to a stop, and I popped one off and hit her right in the center of her chest. And we recovered the bullet right under the skin on her hind quarter. A perfect little mushroom. I can't remember what kind of bullet it was. I got lucky with that rifle. It likes the 100 grain Core-Loks and the 100 grain Winchester PowerPoints. Shoots them both very accurately. So, just whatever I happened to get was what I hunted with. I could sight in with Core-Loks, and if I ran out and only had the PowerPoints, I was still very comfortable taking that rifle out with the PowerPoints in it. Like I said, think about what your specific situation is before you decide on a rifle. There's a lot of variables to consider. Don't just jump on the bandwagon. I don't like following trends because they're flashy and stuff like that. I remember the 260 Remington several years ago when it came out, and it was such a hot caliber, and all these gun writers were going nuts over it, and you don't hear about it anymore. It's sad. It was a good little round, but it just didn't find a niche. It didn't have that much significant. What's the word? It wasn't that much better than a 243 and some of the other cartridges out there. The 7mm 08, stuff like that. It really ever caught on. But seriously, think about what you want, what you need, what you're going to do with it, and find a rifle that's comfortable. That's the main thing, is finding a rifle that you shoot well. Don't go out and buy a big super belted Magnum, these Remington Ultra Mags and stuff like that, because that's what your friends are telling you got to have. And then, get shell shocked every time you shoot it, because you're not going to shoot it accurate, and it's going to be a disaster. Find something you're comfortable with. Be happy. I bought the Savage because it has the adjustable stock, kind of short arms. My Remington 700 is actually the compact model. It fits me really good. I got the Savage home, and first thing I did was pop the recoil pad off, and it comes with plastic inserts that you can adjust your length of pull. So I set it to one that was comfortable for me, and it's got the AccuTrigger on it, which they're amazing. There's hardly any, if any, creep at all in it. So it should be very accurate. It's got a free floated barrel. But that's the main things. Find a rifle you like that you're comfortable with. Find a caliber that you can shoot well and has enough energy. Personally, and this is my personal opinion, I don't agree with hunting deer with 22 caliber rifles. Here in West Virginia, you can, as long as it's a center fire, you can deer hunt with it, and I personally don't agree with that. I think the 6mm are the minimum. The 6mm and the 243 should be the starting point. And don't buy into that, all the 243s for children and women. And no, that's not true. Like I said, I've hunted with one for the last 10 or so years. Before that, I had a 270, and that's what my son hunts with now. But I've had a lot of success with the 243, and if I for some reason couldn't take the 308, I would grab that 243 and go after a deer in a heartbeat. Not sweat it at all. So I hope everyone has a good day. Like and subscribe if you want. I just try and pass on information, give you stuff to think about. Maybe some pointers and stuff. Hope everything goes well for you. Deer season won't be starting for like another month and a half or so. It comes in Thanksgiving week in West Virginia. So I hope everyone has a great day, and take care.